master of the art of living makes little distinction between his work and his play, his labor and his leisure, his mind and his body, his education and his religion. He hardly knows which is which. He simply pursues his vision of excellence, leaving others to decide whether he is working or playing. To him, he is always doing both. My work is my hobby. There isn't a better business that you can be in than the furniture business.
My name is Joel. I live in a small rural farming community in southeast Minnesota. I operate a gathering place in our community called the Crossing Center. It's amazing how things happen. The owner of the largest furniture company in the world has taken an interest in our project. Come with me as we dive into the life of an accomplished man. When we first purchased this property, it was an old dilapidated farmstead, literally falling apart. And we felt it was a perfect place to renovate and to bring back to life and really to be an agent of change for people. The first time I met Ron was early in the morning, and I was covered with dirt from head to toe. And this car pulled up, and an older gentleman gets out. He said, "Hi, my name's Ron Wanek. It's a beautiful place you have here. What you got going on?" Little did I know that that moment would change my life.
A good leader has to be consistent. They have to be passionate about what they do. They have to be curious. They have to always be looking for a better way. They have to be thinking ahead. We had a lot of great manufacturers in the United States. You think of the Thomasvilles, the Broyles, the Lanes, the Bassett, the very wealthy old iconic companies. That's what we were competing against.
Having the opportunity to visit the Ashley Furniture plant in Arcadia, Wisconsin was truly an eye-opening experience. You always wonder, what does it take to be #1 in the world in something?
We've had to rebirth our company 19 times, and it's a constant change, constant rebirth. Unless you do that, you're not going to survive. You better have great designs and have the right styles, and being proactive is one of the most important things that you can do. You can have the best factories, you can have the best workforce, you can have the best equipment, but if you don't have something that somebody wants to buy, none of it matters.
We had a class of 36, a small class, but we were a close class. We always did a lot of things together. I feel that Ron is one of my best friends.
Yeah, he's a strong family man, and his folks were too. I knew them real well, and you can tell by just talking to him. He loves them all.
Passion and purpose. Some call it your drive, the thing that makes you tick. I truly believe it's God's will, that thing that you're made for.
Oh, it was a good family. You know, they all lived in an old stone house. It was about the coldest house you could find in the wintertime. No insulation, probably.
Well, my family immigrated to the United States in early 1700s, settled in the Wilson Hart area near Winona, Minnesota. They homesteaded and cleared the land, broke the land. So our roots are very deep in the area. And growing up on the farm, you did your chores, you did your part. I really enjoyed working with my father. As a small boy, I was with him 100% of the time. I would follow him around, I'd ride with him on the tractors, I'd ask him a million questions.
He learned how to work from his mother and dad, basically. He earned every cent he made, and he did well.
This plant, number one, the enormity of it, 70 acres under a roof, is just mind-boggling, and you can't really comprehend it until you see it.
Arcadia is probably one of the last places that you want to be, because you don't have raw materials and you don't have a market. The market's either in the east, the west coast, are the South. So you have to be great in transportation. You have to figure out how to get your raw materials in inexpensively, and you have to get them out.
Railroad service to Arcadia wouldn't exist without Ashley Furniture, which ships and receives containers in its yard. Ashley's intermodal yard is the only one in Wisconsin and one of just 8 private yards in America. You know, a person really doesn't stop and think about how a product gets to you. You think about furniture, it's big, it's bulky. The kind of logistics of innovation it would take to be able to move big products like that around the world, literally overnight. It's just an amazing accomplishment.
We got a lot of foreign competition. Technology is something that we really support. Automation, robotics. We travel the world to look for the best technology, the best equipment.
I've seen them robots, and well, I was amazed at how fast they can work and how accurate they were. You know, they put it together, and it was together the right way.
We used to put on a lot of miles, few beers, and
We had a lot of fun together. Back then, every small town, they had dances every weekend, and we'd go to them.
one time he met this little good-looking redhead, and that kind of, he didn't go out and party with us anymore much.
My wife has always convinced everybody that I'm having more fun in the business, and obviously she's done a great job in telling our kids that as they grew up. She'd never let me complain. She'd always make sure that they knew that I was having the best time in my life, and guess what? If the kids think you're having a good time and business is fun, they want to be in the business.
It's been a great journey getting to know Ron, his family, and his company. We're just become very proud of Ron and what he's done with his amazing career and his life.
He never lost the personal feelings of his friends. I think that's one point that I think is pretty amazing.
I was going to put one monument there to Vietnam because I didn't like the way the Vietnam veterans were treated when they come back. I thought, well, you know, my dad's era was World War II. So I did a World War II, and then I thought, well, I got to do a World War I. That was my grandfather's era. And I just kept developing more and more of these bronze statues.
As we walk through Memorial Park in Arcadia, you can't help but be overwhelmed by the beauty, the detail, the expressions on the faces of the statues, just the way that emotion is captured.
It was getting very big, and then he started with that beautiful memorial park he's got over there, and that was really nice.
It's a walk through time, a walk through history, and we enjoy supporting and remembering our veterans.
Knowing that thousands and thousands of men and really young boys and women have sacrificed so much so that we can have the freedoms that we do.
A lot of people fought in the military. A lot of officers came from this area. That's why we've done this.
Our history is such an important part of who we are, knowing where we came from, who we came from, and what has occurred.
I think that there's many great entrepreneurs that will be coming along. God, family, and work.
One man's passion to build furniture, following a burning desire in his heart, has literally impacted the world.
You think about it, the creativity and how you can enrich people's lives, how important that is. I hope that I have influenced many people to contribute in their lives